Well, hello, YouTube modeling community. That's right, it's the old fat man from Alabama coming to you from that place right there, Don's Garage, my styrene sanctuary. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and warn you right up front. This is gonna be kind of a long video. I got a lot to discuss. Pretty much all good stuff. Well, we got good stuff, really good stuff, and oh my goodness stuff. So we're gonna get these quick particulars out of the way. I'm way behind on sending out shop cards. I've got a bunch ready to go. Just haven't had the time, and when I've had the time, haven't had the funds to pick up stamps. We're working on that. But if any of you content creators out there that I haven't swapped shop cards with, there's my email address right there. Shoot me an email, put shop card in the header, and I will get you a shop card out soon. Like I said, I'm way behind. I'm literally like 6 weeks behind on shop cards. It's just been absolute chaos on a lot of things. Things are starting to smooth out. And like I said, looking a lot better. Let's see. That's got a little glare on it. Oh, I need more glare. Nice. Yeah, it's going to be there. Anyway, well, enough of that. You've seen the shop card. There's the email address. Let me know if you want one. Next up, kind of a bench update. I don't know if any of you, well, I'm sure a lot of you do. Have you ever watched DD Speed Shop on YouTube? He's wrapping up I think his is actually a 64, but the same body style. Nova Gasser that he's about to make a 36-hour road trip in. Coming out of Canada, going all the way down south to Atlanta. Anyway, I got to watching his video, and I've got this kit on the shelf, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, man, a lot of that looks familiar. So after, I don't know, third or fourth episode, I come out here and I opened up the kit. His car, the car he's building, is using a gasser kit of sorts from Speedway. A lot of bolt-on stuff. Looks great. Well, like I said, a lot of it looked familiar. I popped this kit out. Well, guess what? This kit, all the front end springs, the axle, a lot of the stuff is extremely similar, we'll say, to what Speedway offers. I would probably go as far as say it's a replica of sorts. So I had to get it out and play with it. You know, having 30 unfinished projects, you know, that ain't nothing. You know, you always need another one. So we're going to pull this down. Without further ado, there's where I'm at with this one. I'm extremely pleased with this kit. We're going to slide this over here to the side for a bit. Let's grab this in our stand extender, shall we call it. But literally I spent 3 hours one night, 2 hours the next, and all the sub-assemblies are done, cleaned up, glued together, a few seams fixed. They're ready for paint. I mean, we're talking 5 hours and I'm ready to go. Couldn't believe it. The motor is assembled. I've been watching a few guys and seeing where they're sticking the hoses on and stuff, which did help me getting everything lined up. I'm gonna spray let's get up here where we can actually see it. A lot of this majority of this thing is gonna get airbrush painted, and then I'll go around and pick out details and such with paintbrush. I've already got the roll cage assembled. It fits the car. All the clearances are nice. The wheelie bars are assembled but not glued on yet. And literally The only real complaint I can have about this kit, and I've looked at my other Mobius kits, they all had the same issue. The panel lines, they're scary shallow. So I spent a couple hours when I was working on the body. I went around and I rescribed the door lines, the trunk lines, the window trim. In fact, I think I've rescribed every panel line except the cowl vents. And I'm a little concerned about losing those in the paint process. We'll just have to wait and see. But I had no issues as far as it went together nice and square. Everything's lined up. It's beautiful. And I'd heard a lot of good things about it, I'm going to jump out kind of on the limb, and I'm sure a good bit of y'all will agree with me. This is probably as close to Tamiya quality we will ever see from an American manufacturer on our models. Round 2, 98% of their stuff that they're putting out there, is the dies are, the molds for them are 60 plus years old. Their stuff graduates to being not quite as old, but still probably the newest molds they've got, not counting the Bronco or the Challenger. I would venture to say it's probably 30 years old, and they've had the snot run out of them. So we get what we get. This thing, other than being a little picky about the body lines, I am just absolutely, I didn't know what to do with myself. 5 hours, 6 tops, not counting doing the body. Hell, I'm ready for everything to go to paint. That don't happen in here. Now granted, I'm not adjusting anything or I'm not making any changes. I'm building it right out of the box. The only, you could say, alterations I've made, I cleaned the seam up on the transmission. I made a little boo-boo cutting the transmission halves off the tree. I nicked the bell housing a little bit. I had a little bit of mud work. That's on me. There was a little sink mark in the belt drive for the blower. Not an issue. It was really a simple fix. And I mudded it where the headers and the collector, the turnouts, go together. I did mud that up. I thought it was kind of ugly looking the way it went together, so I cleaned that up. That's modeling. No ding to the manufacturer. They did an awesome job on this kit. I'm stripping the chrome off the blower, hat, and the injector because I want to do some paint work on the blower hat to tie it in with the body colors. I'm going to chrome it, but the inside is going to be one of the body colors and stuff like that. Plus, it's a 2-piece assembly, and it needs to look like a 1-piece when it's done. So I got that going on. The injector, obviously, in a real car world, would not be chrome plated. Polished, well, it could be chrome, but we're trying to make this look like a car that would actually run, not just be put in a car show and everybody look at it. I've got a paint job figured out in my head. Colors are picked, and a couple of things I'll be getting on it soon. When it's painted, I'll show that. But I've also got these Slicks decals. We're going to add the Nightmare on each door, and I got a couple other decals to go along with it. Obviously, I'm going to use the gold leaf style lettering for the windows. I've got tire decals to go on the fronts and the backs. And like I said, there's some other decals in there, but we can't let you know everything. Got to leave a little something for a surprise. But that's where I've been at, fooling with that. As I mentioned in my last video, well, let's hold up on that. It come to my attention a day or two ago that I'm 39 subscribers away from 1,500, and I'm absolutely shocked, surprised and humble. I could not believe there's 15, we're pushing 1,400 and some, 1,461 people have actually subscribed my channel and watched some of my videos. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wished I had more words to describe how I feel. I don't. You know, remember, I'm a at best, half-educated guy from the South who did not finish school. But with that being said, I'm gonna keep a little closer eye on the analytics for a little while and see if and when we hit the 1,500 mark. I'm planning a channel celebration for sometime in October. I should have a date picked here pretty soon. There'll be more on that, but it's something you might want to stick around for, because I think it's going to be pretty cool, interesting. On that note, we're going to step into the next phase here. Now, as I had commented, had talked about in my last video, that a good friend of mine had got a 3D printer, and that is true. He got one. Nice one. 8K. Does some beautiful work. The whole truth behind this, the printer is here in my shop. The printer's been here now 4 or 5 weeks, and other than sleep, one doctor's visit, and a couple other real life things, I have been attempting to learn how to do all the stuff in the computer, which has been a major struggle, considering I can turn one on, I can look up a few things, and I can get on Facebook and check my email, and that's the end of my computer skills, should we say. I am very well blessed with a niece that is a 5th grade school teacher. She is doing exactly what the good Lord called her to do. She has the patience, the talent, and the heart to do the job. Yes, she makes a fair living at it, being a teacher here in Alabama, which I don't. She should. I mean, she got a family. But it's what she was, like I said, it's what the good Lord brought her in this world to do. And we talked about it. It took my friend 3 weeks to talk me into operating this printer and learning it and so on. So I got with my niece. She has been very good, she's been wonderful about not just showing me, but writing. I've got a notebook I call my cheat book. It's a guide to help me when I start to stall out or stumble when I'm trying to do something on the computer. We've addressed each issue. She's wrote it down, and I told her, I said, look, I need you to teach me like you teaching them 5th graders, because when it comes to book smarts, they ahead of me. It's worked out quite well, and I've actually enjoyed it. Now, don't get me wrong, there's been a couple of times I've wanted to throw this machine out in the backyard along with the computer, pour gasoline on it, get out the hot dogs and the weenies, or get the weenies and the marshmallows out, and have a weenie roast and s'mores session while this stuff burned to the ground. When that happened, I turned everything off and I went back to working on what I know how to do. That's all leading me up to this. I've been running this printer like as much and as often as possible, learning. This box is covering up a lot of the work. But hold on a second, fellas. I'm going to adjust the camera. Okay, we're back. Well, these are a bunch of test runs, test prints, I guess you could say. May just, like I said, learn how to lay it out on the plate. Just all the variances of trying to do this stuff, because it's a lot harder than they make it out to be when you're looking at ads to buy a printer. But y'all had already seen the hood scoops that were printed. There's one that turned out a lot better than this is the second run, and these turned out a lot better. I've still had to make some changes in the file because I'm getting a low spot here, and they're supposed to print flat, and that's not flat. But it's worked out pretty good. But I've got another layout done that I'll be printing soon. But I also found of course, I kind of dig Fox Body Mustangs, and I found a file for this bumper deal that I've been scratch building for many years, fought with, never was really happy with any of the ones I've done, and they turned out good. Well, now I can print them. And of course, I've put one of the Sunoco hood scoops on this one. I got a little more work to do on it, but she's close. That same file does 5 different lowers. There's that one with what they call it the light breaker. This is a short one. We need a longer one. Not much longer, but it does need to be a little bit longer. Anyhow, we affectionately call it the Cheater Peter. We got that one, and this piece is actually, I glued this one on. It's separate. It prints separate of the front end. Then we have a single turbo inlet or ProCharge inlet. Then we have a lowbrow twin turbo inlet fascia. And this is my favorite. And there's your ProCharger with the oval hole. So I broke this one getting it off the plate, and I've glued it back together. Needs a little love, but there's those. I found a file because I've never been happy with any 4-barrel carburetors in any of the kits. So I found this one, and I did not read the whole ad. So I bought it. I printed it. See how big it is? It's a 12th scale. But it is beautiful. As you can see, kind of a generic version of the 750. It does say Holley on the throttle body back inside. Of course, it's kind of hard to see. Let me get something to point with and get my big finger out. But anyway, it does say Holley here on the side of the throttle body. You know, it's got the bell cranks and the linkage here. The accelerator pumps on the bottom are absolute. Boy, and this camera's not gonna. There we go. I mean, those are gorgeous. You know, both ends. The electronic choke pod. It's got the choke horn with the choke blade in it. You can see the power valves in the back, and I'm like, wow, it looks great. I printed it. I said, what am I going to put it on? It's too big. It had a generic intake and an air cleaner. I haven't printed, never have printed the air cleaner in this size, but I did that. I'm scratching my head. Got to playing around a little bit with, because I used Cheetah Box, the free version. Well, I had this little thing off the side that says scale. So I played with that. Then a friend of mine who also has a printer sent me a chart. Well, I was able to scale that 12th scale 4-barrel down to that. And I'm very, very happy with this. I've sized it on a couple of other kit intakes. This will work. So I did a test print earlier today. As you can see, they're all here. Because this is the air cleaner that came with it. I hadn't had any problems printing this part, which is the base plate and the filter. But I had nothing but failures on 2 attempts on the air cleaner top. And then it finally dawned on me. It would print all the supports and would start to print the plate of the air cleaner top, but I was printing them, just raised them up off of the plate. I didn't put any angles in them. And it finally dawned on me. It's coming out this way. You got a flat plate here. It's loaded with wet material. It would just break the supports. So I threw it on there at about, I need to change the angle a little bit, but this was I'm close. I need to change the angle down to about 30%, 30 degrees, but we're definitely going in the right direction. Now I talked about the intake and the carburetor and the air cleaner. I did scale down an intake. That's it right here. Because of the generic intake, it does resemble a Ford intake a lot. But there's the whole package: intake, carburetor, and the two-piece air filter that sets off. The only issue I've had with it is the air cleaner. The top does not fit real good. I had to kind of chamfer the edges to get the step to go on in to where it made a nice little air filter. Very happy with that. That experiment, I'm gonna give it a 90. Playing around with some bullhorns. There's more to come on these. I've printed 2 shifters. I told y'all this was going to be a long video. Sorry guys. But your traditional, good old-fashioned B&M quick quarter stick, quick stick. Very similar to the one that comes in the Matt and Debbie Hayes T-Bird and the Lincoln that's just been reissued. We've got that version. And then my favorite. That one, that basic shifter, only with a different handle, called the Stealth. Ooh, I love that shifter. So I've printed a few of these in various plates where I had room to set them. Again, the intake and the carburetor. Here, the intake and the carb is sitting on the small block Ford out of the Foose FD100 or FD1, whatever. Fits up pretty good. I know that kit comes with, or he's got a 4-barrel intake and all. But I had that and I sized it up. I've also been printing wheels and tires. Being the old school guy, there's a true 275 6015 drag radial sitting on a set of Weld drag lights. You know, we'll pull them out. Well, we're 22 minutes in, so might as well spend a few more minutes and look at some more eye candy. But there's the tire. That is a 10.5. The wheels come out nice. See, this is one I had a little bit of an issue here at the top. Actually, what I would do with that one, we'll slide. See, the wheel fits nice. Let's see. Well, really can't flip around and make a left. Yeah. Slide it over, you make a left. You put that dimple, that little bad spot, wherever it went, up inside to the center. Good to go. But they came out nice. Now these are, like I said, these are 275 6015s. But we also have a 295 55 615 drag radial. And again, these are on the drag lights. One of my favorite wheels. But there it is. The MT come out nice. The tread pattern's really nice. I'm hoping the first of the month to order some black resin where I can print my tires in black versus gray and have to paint them. But they do paint up nice. Then I've got a set of RC Comp hammers and a 15-17 combo, 15-inch rears, 17-inch fronts on a 295 55 15 drag radial. These wheels will also work in the slicks out of the 67 Pro Street Chevelle as well as the Nova. These are a set of Billet Specialty wind lights. Now these are for your late model stuff. This is a 17-inch drag radial rear, 18-inch front. I've played around with fitting these in under a late model Corvette. I've got an 09 Challenger that actually a set of these is going to go on. And as I was saying, I've played around with fitting them with model car wheel tires. I've been having some fun and aggravation all at the same time. Where I'm going with the printer, not sure. I mean, I'm going to print, try to enjoy myself with it. Parts, I'll be making some parts kind of available to trade amongst other builders eventually. Would I like to print and sell parts? Yes, I would. Getting permission to print these guys' files, that's something I got to work on. I've been talking with another gentleman that can create files for me. There's going to be a fee involved. We haven't quite got into that part. But the printer's here. I'm going to try to make the best use of it I can. I've managed to pull this much off in roughly 3 weeks of printing. I've gone through a bunch of resin, about $60 worth. So I've got to do something because, well, the stuff ain't cheap. It's not ultra expensive, but it still costs something, and I got to come up with a scratch to get it. So, well, fellas, with that being said, I'm gonna call this video. We're pushing a 30-minute. I don't know how many of you made it to this point. If you have, thank you very much. Thank you to all of my subscribers, the old ones, the new ones, and all the ones in between. Without you, this channel is nothing but stagnant. And now the turd barrel is hollering to go inside. So we got to call this. Well, folks, remember, God loves you, so do I. Remember, live, love, and laugh. And always, always, no matter what, build the model for you. Y'all take care, and I hope I'll see all of you again in the next video. Goodbye.